What's up, Peter in Norway? I think your name is actually Pete.
What's up, Umberto? You're not answering my text, bro. What's up, dude? Like, we still friends or what?
We're over here at Ricker and Bond trying to connect with fans, and Umberto nor Pete is hitting us up on Instagram, Ricker and Bond. Go to rickerandbond.com. Subscribe, 5 stars at adobehouse.live/store. Get yourself a Ricker and Bond t-shirt, and if you send us a screenshot of yourself wearing a t-shirt or just a receipt or something, slide it into the DMs of Ricker and Bond. You get something cool.
We have a really, really sexy episode. It's really juicy. It's full of emotion, tears, blood, and comedy. So definitely put your earpods all the way in your ears, turn on noise canceling, and enjoy.
Happy Monday. Enjoy.
How come you don't want me? You know that new style you're looking for? If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight. What's up? Hello. What cool is that?
Can't beat the fucking Clippers. Y'all make me sick with this shit.
Well, listen to this.
Politicians are a lot like that. They should be changed frequently for the same reason.
Yo, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to listen to Ricker and Bond.
We find it now.
Protect your cities.
Hell yeah, books, dude. Hell yeah, books. It's a lot more like emotional than in my memory of that song.
Yeah.
It's kind of like ballady, you know?
Kind of like messagey.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the sound of it, but yes, the message as well.
You gotta be.
Great message. It was like, let's look up the lyrics of Desiree.
Sean was like, yo, what's that song that goes, you gotta be, and I was just like, oh, let me see.
That's You Gotta Be by Desiree.
I just like dug deep into the memory, found like 3 lyrics, popped it into Google, and boom, there it came.
Listen as your day unfolds. Challenge what the future. Okay, we're talking about. I guess this isn't a super. Was this a top chart topping song by Desiree? You Gotta Be.
I don't know, but I can imagine so because it's pretty catchy.
And you know of it, right?
I know of it. It's still on the radio.
Is it?
Yeah, on like R&B stations.
So it's
I don't know
Peak
any
Position.
other music by her.
Peak Position was number 5.
Okay,
by
not
Desiree.
Bad. Probably
on
still
the
making
chart.
some good money from that.
44 weeks.
That's a long time. Damn.
Why?
That's a long time.
Why I bring that up is because before we had the conversation of pop music changing throughout the years, with and getting a little weird and vapid is my terminology for it today. But if this was on number 5 for 44 weeks on Billboard Top 100 in 1995, you know, it's a messagey song that was in the pop zeitgeist.
Also, rap wasn't around back then like it is now. In the mainstream.
I don't know about that.
98?
I think Jay-Z and people were popping. I mean, Tupac was what?
Was the top 10 occupied by rap songs like it is today?
1995 Billboard Top 100. Year-end Hot 100 singles. 1995 was Gangsta's Paradise, dude.
Oh, really?
Number 1. And then a lot of TLC. No, it's not as dominant. We got TLC, Waterfalls, Seal, Kiss from a Rose, Boyz II Men, Mariah Carey, Madonna.
I don't even remember what my argument was.
That rap filled more of the Billboard now, so maybe there's less messagey stuff, but there's a message. I just want to read Desiree's lyrics that probably she didn't write. You think she wrote them?
Nah.
They don't be writing a lot of their own lyrics. Ricker and Bond, everybody. Go over to rickerandbond.com. Subscribe. 5 stars. If you're chilly outside, it's a little chilly where I'm at. I got myself on a Collar John shirt made by cats.
It was supposed to rain last night, but it didn't.
There's actually... Hold on. I'll go into that later. But I wanted to see if Miss Desiree wrote her own lyrics. Look at that cover. You can't see the cover.
Which Jewish guy owns this song.
Well, the songwriters are indeed Desiree and Ashley Ingram. Label is Sony Soho Square.
She's 52. Oh, UK.
She's from the UK?
She's from the UK.
You gotta be.
You gotta be.
Okay, so now let me read these lyrics in her natural voice. Listen as your day unfolds.
Damn.
Challenge what the future holds. Try to keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. Stand up and be counted. Don't be ashamed to cry.
You gotta be. Damn,
you gotta be bad.
Other music.
You gotta be bold. You gotta be wiser. Harold.
Where is she now? Somewhere being 52 years old.
That's
maybe.
Pretty young.
Has some kids. She's a vegetarian.
Nice.
In 2002, she did short courses in photography and ceramics at Cambridge College of Arts. That's the only thing about her personal life on Wikipedia.
I mean, it's solid. You ever done ceramics?
She probably just filled this in 2002, and it's still there. She's like, huh, what have I been up to lately?
I'm on not Desiree's life. You gotta feel so high, kissing you, from soundtrack of film Romeo plus Juliet.
How much money do you think she's making from this song today?
Probably a little bit. I feel like she probably didn't get the best advantage out of a 1995 music contract with Epic Records and Sony Soho Square.
What if she's not getting a dime?
She's probably getting a dime.
That would suck. Rough ballpark estimate? I don't know. Basing this on nothing?
Basing this on not a ballpark knowledge of music.
10 to 15 grand per month. Maybe more. This has a lot of views on YouTube too. Like a lot.
2002 YouTube. Let's get her on the pod.
Probably could. She's probably not.
Everybody,
that busy.
Desiree.
No, honestly, she probably tours.
And see if she has.
10 years ago,
site.
32 million views on YouTube.
Let's also see how tall she is, as is customary. Sagittarius, South London. Her height's not available according to celebsagewiki.com. Shame.
You gotta be
Real name Desiree Ant Weeks. What a day to pod hard. What an intro. Cold intro, as they say on SNL. She looks like she's from British.
My friend who I used to work with.
Yeah.
My other coworker, they always used to talk about movies at work. We worked at a microphone store. Literally for like 3 hours out of the day, they would talk about movies. And I'm like, hey, you donuts, why don't you just make a podcast? And like, so that people that give a shit can listen to you, because I don't give a shit. And they're like, oh, how are we gonna do that? They said, as they worked in a microphone store and a fucking mixing board store.
Anchor.com.
I literally told them that. And then today, maybe yesterday, 2 years later, one of them messages me. He's like, hey, dude, we're finally getting around to that podcast.
Hey.
How do we do it?
I
just sent them the Anchor link, and I said, figure it out.
You should have asked, what kind of keywords did you search on Google for?
Oh, man, dude. They were like, he was like, do we need to like register a business or something? I was like, nah.
You
just make the podcast.
You got to make an S corp.
Yeah, I was like, so I wasn't about to get into SEO with them because I knew they wouldn't know what that is.
I mean, you do it by the fly of the night. You'd be like, oh, like, what kind of things are you thinking of? Like, what do you need? What do you think you need? And it's not like you ask them directly, hey, what are your
Let's just get a couple episodes out, see if they actually do it. Because I know if they did it, the episodes would be like 8 hours plus.
I am curious about consistency. I would like to see a chart, a graph plotted on the internet of people that start a pod and people that consistently do a pod for however long, and that data versus like people that started during a pandemic, how long that lasted. There's probably 20 podcasts that started during the pandemic that like people are now living off of, which I think is pretty cool.
Here's a free idea for anyone out there that
freeidea.com
wants to do it. It probably wouldn't even be that hard. Something called Podcast Graveyard, where it's just a website and then there's like code
That's
on
too
there
many.
that like scrapes through Apple
a lot of art.
Podcasts for podcasts that haven't been posted on in 5 years.
Yeah.
It's just dead podcasts.
There's definitely a site called Dead Tokens or something. I was watching that the other day of dead tokens that are. That's pretty easy if you have data that just says this hasn't been uploaded for like a year.
Yeah, just like search
fun.
this whole website. If it hasn't been uploaded in 5 years from today, add it to the homepage or something. I don't know.
Or-
Yeah, those Python nerds, get on that.
Man, I got a little bit of Python practice.
That would be a good exercise. You should do it.
Right on, might. If you look up Dead Podcast, it's just the official Grateful Dead podcast. You
Oh,
big
shit.
fan of the Grateful Dead?
No.
Have you ever listened to Grateful Dead?
No.
I'll play an intro song there.
You gotta be... You know what I was watching yesterday? I was watching The Masked Singer.
The last what?
The Masked Singer.
Oh,
With
tell
my-
me about
with
that.
my
What
mother.
were your findings?
Well,
With your mother?
first of all, very, very corny, very TV, very cheesy, but I found myself asking, who the hell is in that
Who is
mask?
it? You know,
Yeah,
it's
you know?
like, is it Timberlake?
Because I didn't really know anything about it. I was like, okay, singing competition, cool. So when they're like talking, when they're just talking with their voice, they like disguise the voice. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And then they start singing, and some of them are like really good because some of them are like actual singers. And you're just like, damn, who actually is that? But you always know that it's like kind of like a has-been celebrity, because anybody that's like actually doing well in their music career wouldn't have time to be on The Masked Singer.
Just the weekend.
Yeah, they were like, the judges were like, oh, The Weeknd's in that. I'm like, hell fucking no. Like,
Britney
no way
Spears, what
The
are you
Masked
doing
Singer
here?
can, like, maybe Britney Spears would be on there.
Toxic.
Who was on there? Like, fucking people I don't even know. And all the judges were like, oh yeah, you're such a fucking icon, you changed music. And I'm just like, yo, who are these people?
Is
Like,
that what it is when they unveil it's just a circle jerk?
low key, all the judges are kind of old too. It's Robin Thicke. Love Robin Thicke, but like, lost without you. See, if you're younger than 30, you probably don't know who Robin Thicke is.
He didn't really have the brightest of limelights ever.
His comeback, because he was like famous before that last thing, was that's when like his music career was like serious. And then he like kind of fizzled out, and then he did Blurred Lines with Pharrell, came back, twerked on Miley Cyrus, cheated on his wife, and then now he's on The Masked Singer. What a comeback. God. Yeah, it was him, it was that guy, it was that Asian dude from The Hangover. He's kind of funny. I don't really know why he's on there, but it's that girl from the Pussycat Dolls, Nicole, and it's this other blonde girl. I don't know who she is. She's like maybe a country singer or something.
This baby one. This baby. Did you watch the baby episode? Did you watch a live episode of Masked Singer?
No, I think it was like a finale recap or something from like last year, and I was like, I wonder who it is. My mom was like, oh, I look it up online because I can't wait till the end. Do you want me to tell you? And I was like, nah. And you can't even guess if you're somewhat young, because like all the celebrities who it could be are like out of the scope of your realm, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Usher's in there. I'm like, no fucking way Usher's in there, dude. Usher's on tour somewhere.
Look at this Matt. At least, like, I mean, shout out to the costumes, at least.
Yeah, the costumes look cool. And it's pretty cool when they're like they're singing. You can tell the audience is like fake as hell. You can tell there's literally no audience there.
Are there any like subliminal things that they're sprinkling in to make you more curious about the who's inside?
So they're like, yeah, we leave clues like all throughout the performances. The clues are such bullshit. There's no way in hell. They're like, yeah, we left a donut because fucking Jimmy Buffett's writer wrote donut into his third verse in 1937. Did you catch that? And I'm like, no one caught that, dude. And then the fucking judge is like, oh yeah, for sure, yeah, totally, yeah, like they fucking know. But I don't know. So if you're a child or really old, then you'll probably enjoy it.
Have any of these low-level channel TV shows been as high production? Because I'm looking at the production in the background. It's pretty colorful, pretty playy. I feel like that is not a thing that I usually see on TV. Am I wrong?
It's because Fox just got money just to fucking.
But have you ever seen a show before that has such big, colorful sets?
Maybe.
I can't think.
Maybe like Dancing with the Stars. But
Dancing with the Stars is a black glass floor. All the American Factor things are a big old theater stage. I find it interesting.
They have and then they have another show called The Masked Dancer. I'm like, how is anyone gonna know who's in a thing if they're just dancing?
I see how those hips are lying. That's secure.
And like now they're just stretching.
That's really dumb.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is like The Masked Singer kind of works. I can see how people can like find it entertaining and then go on Facebook after and talk about it.
Yeah.
But The Masked Dancer is like, yo, like,
God bless the people that are 40 to 60 years old and that's their show, man. They tune in and they let tell their girlfriends, did you see The Masked Singer today? You never guess who's under that baby costume.
You know, there's some executive somewhere. They're like, yo, okay, we got $60 million. We have to spend it in 4 months. Let's start spitballing here.
Oh, Kylie has to cover The Masked Singer.
Dude, that's what I was telling my mom. I was like, Mom, you should just make Masked Singer videos since you like it so much. And she was like, I don't know how. I was like, yes, you do. You just literally take your phone. You just talk about it.
Oh, poor Kylie, dude. She just got a job at Yahoo. She wanted to be an entertainment beat. And freaking her boss, Charla, says, hey, you're going to be on Masked Singer tonight. Who's the host?
Dude, it's our boy Nick Cannon, the best part of the show.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that a Nick Cannon knockoff or?
No. You gotta get that's where all the money's going to pay Nick Cannon.
But who is under this mask? You know,
I don't know.
I'm curious. It's something about humans.
It's definitely someone you've never
all the
heard
smiles,
of.
A lot of smiles. Nick Cannon is not wearing a shirt under that blazer.
Dude.
Kylie's just pretending to be happy. Awesome costumes, but that's also what I'm saying. Okay, because like I was kind of that one Fox show that has. Digital identities of people that are different than themselves that you messaged. Who's that baby?
I bet you don't know who that is.
Just Larry the Cable Guy.
How would anyone ever know that? You have to be a huge Larry the Cable Guy fan.
I haven't said or heard the name Larry the Cable Guy since 2006.
Like, come on, this is the most work he's gotten since Cars 3.
Is that a Tesla?
Bro, you know their agents are like, yo, I just got you the greatest gig. Get on the fucking plane, you're going on The Masked Singer. No, they're paying $700 for the whole season. Get over there.
Jeez. Do you know what the title of the show is that has AR people?
Alter Ego, I think.
Also, Will.i.am is on that. And I like Will.i.am, and that's very on brand for him. He likes the tech stuff, and I like Will.i.am.
Yeah, he probably produced the show. I wouldn't be surprised.
But something like that, where it's like, what is media trying to lean you into? And if it's super big and colorful, it kind of just seems like it could be a virtual thing. That's maybe a little get older people used to big, fanciful, different worlds that are not realistic looking.
I told my mom, yo, all pop stars are going to look like these AR people in the future.
No humans?
Going to be.
I think they'll still be human based.
She was like, oh yeah, but there's going to be somebody backstage like performing and singing. I'm like, yeah, until they realize that they could just play a recording and save money. You know, it's all about saving money.
By then, it's going to be a lot less label based. So you might have not the big heads running music going on tour. You might just have individual people going on tour that are bigger. Maybe they do still want to save time with technology, but I don't know if it's going to be such big conglomerates that are looking to cut the dollar any way they can.
I think that because labels just have so much money, but like the touring companies, like let's say they have an AI, or not an AI, but just a fake pop star, they can just like do so much more with the show because the person's not a human, you know.
So if it's more creator based versus labels at this point in the future when there's more tech where you can own your own stuff and interact with your fan base more. And that's probably going to be part of it, where you're interacting with your fan base more one-on-one instead of kind of going through a label, and the label just gives you a loan for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like you're saying, if like you're an independent creator that has an avatar and you're like, yo, I want to go on tour with my avatar.
I'm saying that your edge as a creator without a label and billions of dollars is that you have a connection with your fan base, which could be your deciding factor if you go on tour, and that's actually you on stage instead of they are.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, is it really super important that the person is real for that connection? But then I also think about like how superheroes aren't real and people still idolize them. It could kind of like be the same thing. Yo, I want to go see fucking Spider-Man live in concert, you know? Even though he's not real, I'm still a super huge Spider-Man fan.
So
and
more
also,
towards like, it is kind of still the brand of people, but more non-human brand.
Yeah, like, and even when you get to like a certain level, like a certain level of fame, people are more invested in the idea of you than you of a person. Like, people know fucking Lady Gaga, not whatever her real name is, you know? People know
there are performers that definitely don't idolize the like art of performing on stage that could probably be upstaged by not them.
Like fucking what's his name? Earl
like,
Sweatshirt or something?
Hey, I like Earl's performances. I think it's on brand for him. But sure. But something like that. If you make music that is super not of a cookie cutter thing and is very identical to you as a person and you're kind of a unique person, then you could, obviously. But having someone live on stage that is connected to the source of making that music is an edge that you can't really do with tech. Now, if you're doing pop stars, if you're doing K-pop, that could be augmented to all hell because it's cookie cutter, it's big and bright, and it's not super personal.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but like, I don't know. I feel like we can't foresee how people will think about music in the future when like most things are digital. Like, when I have a kid and they're like 10 years old, will they listen to a song and be like, I don't care if it's like a real person or not? Or would they prefer it if it's a character that doesn't exist? Will they prefer it if it's a real person? It could be like the classic debate, like fucking what's it called, digital versus analog, you know?
Sure.
You know, like, oh, you know, back in my day, musicians were real people and they had to go on tour, and like they could only do one show at a time because they were only one place at a time. But now they can be in New York and Miami and LA on the same night, you know?
You could just do that too. You have one big old New York performance and then you stream it other places and look at seamless, so it's not, by streaming I mean flashing on stage and it looks one-to-one of an actual person. You do it at the same time.
Yeah.
It might, I think at some point maybe the uncanny valley stops, but I mean, there's been virtual pop stars in like Korea that people enjoy, right?
Yeah. I think one went on tour with Lady Gaga.
Oh, well. I think, I don't know, there's still a little bit of an uncanny valley to make a bridge across of. But I guess if it taps into your emotions enough, then it doesn't really matter.
Damn. The barrier to entry to, if that becomes the norm, will be so high because of all the production money.
Can be a big old gap.
Just stupid money just needed.
That's what I'm saying.
Or maybe less. Maybe
Eventually, a production, you need tech.
You need tech. I'm thinking just like a team of like engineers and lighting effects artists, and maybe like a sound engineer, a couple sound engineers.
Well, record labels might become, if there's a move towards creator independence of being one-to-one with fans and even like tokenizing stuff where you can bypass a lot of record labels. They give you money, or if you go straight to fans for funding instead of going to a record label, then if you have that over time, labels might just turn into touring companies and venue owners. I don't know. Do record labels own many venues?
I don't know.
They don't. They definitely should.
I don't know. I know Live Nation knows a lot.
Yeah, that's under Rock Nation, right?
Yeah. What if the pop stars are fake, but the bands are real?
Yeah. Why? But why?
Because, you know, everybody loves a live band, you know, especially when the drummer's going crazy. You know, it can't. But here's the thing: the band wouldn't have to tour. You could have an LA-based band, like a band for like every major city, so you don't have to spend money flying them everywhere.
That'd be fun, and that's the studio.
Yeah,
the augmented studio might be a thing. That'd be cool. Where you have your studio and you VR it with Microsoft Mesh.
You just get fucking, I don't know. They get a girl, get her to sing 300 songs, and then they use all that data to make a bunch of songs. You know,
see that?
And they're like, here's 20 grand. You don't own the rights to your voice anymore. We're gonna go make billions off of this.
You know the exact amount of words that they own. It's like, oh, we only own this much.
Yeah, holy shit.
A lot of tech. That is probably right towards where it's go. I don't know what really the leverage of the record label is today. I guess just airtime and money.
Definitely. Well, I was thinking, like, because like you do so well on Spotify if you have money, even just a little bit of money. $50 can get you like a couple thousand plays. So imagine what 100,000 can get you. You know.
I wonder. I mean, there's probably a handful of music acts that labels swoop up. It's probably like a 1 to 11 win to loss.
I don't know. They're like, I guess you could say roadmap or timeline, but I can imagine they have like levels where like the lower level is like they find a handful of artists, maybe like 3 or 4 artists, and they A/B test them with each other for a couple months, make a couple music videos, see who performs the best, and then just say fuck the rest, we're gonna go with this one. And then they just fucking put them on a bunch of songs that are like with artists that are already popping, that are under the label, that propels them. Bada bing, bada boom.
Media messaging.
Squeeze them out. I know that every time The Weeknd does, not every time, but most time The Weeknd does features, it's under the same label or under the same manager. Doja Cat. Who else did he do one? He does a lot with fucking Belly. He does a shit ton with Nav.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times I'm just like, dude, we can really listen to Doja Cat. I don't know. Or was his manager just like, yo, bro, do me a favor and hop on this girl's fucking track? Perhaps. She needs her streams pumped.
Perhaps. But if you're trying to uproot a record label, just become a tech company with the coolest tech. I wonder if there's any big data that record label have to input into a system, and they have a percentage probability of this person will get a lot of streams on Spotify and get people buying their merch.
I can imagine they do. I can imagine they have YouTube like analytics. They're like, okay, they're listening really hard at this part of the song.
There's a really cool article, and we brought it up before about you were talking about Netflix and how you're like, hey, I want to just, maybe I don't want to see so much stuff. Someone on Twitter had a crazy thread on the AI that Netflix uses for thumbnails. They do it by your patterns as a user. So like a comedy viewer would see a different thumbnail than a rom-com viewer. So if you're watching a lot of comedy, that's what you'll see for Good Will Hunting. Apparently, maybe that's funnier. And if you're watching drama stuff, that's what you see for Good Will Hunting.
Interesting. Oh, we
very,
should do
very
that for
cool
YouTube.
kid. I mean, people A/B test it, but I don't know if they have such a cool algorithm.
That's sick.
And they were talking about Netflix has a thing. I don't know if this is Netflix's Green Arrow thing, but they're saying bad guys do better over good guys. So villainous characters outperform on thumbnails.
Interesting.
They talk about localization, which is maybe just where fonts and types are. Green arrows are the good ones. If you're listening to this, go to YouTube, Rickard Pond. Obviously, expressive faces. Main character's brightness. We got a little ooh with a little ow in the face.
I would click
People
that.
like that.
I'm like,
People
yo, what is
that.
their deal? What are they
looking
what are
at?
they looking at?
See, that's another thing. It's like, what are they looking at? I think that's a little bit of survival mechanism, which goes to the Mass Singer thing of, well, what's under there?
That one above it, I would not click on. I'm like,
This
what is that? Was it
It's
stand-up
very-
comedy?
You don't know what it is. It looks like a TV show.
Yeah.
This one could be a stand-up. This one, they're in a scene, you know?
I would probably, I don't know about the one next to it to the left, because I'm like, is that Kimmy Schmidt? Maybe I would click it. Maybe I would
Sure.
click that one.
I think stand-up for that. This one,
Yeah, I wouldn't click
dog. Okay, I also learned this. People, if you're doing a story about animals, right? People don't click animals. They still want to see humans with the animals. A little more relatable to that. I don't know if I fully believe that, because people do like kitties and stuff, but rule of thirds, obviously. They have AI in Netflix so they tag their metadata with. I don't know what saliency is, but frame number, brightness, contrast, nudity, probability, face, skin tone.
So if you look up white girl with boy haircut, that would come up. Like Stranger Things episode 12 would come up.
It's more in the metadata. I think they might cross-reference that with other things.
Nudity probability.
Maybe
That's
if
funny
someone's-
as fuck.
They really love nudity movies. And there was another thing with skin color. And
Do you think they developed all this tech in-house, or they bought several companies that already had this tech and just implemented it to their product?
I'm not sure what Netflix's prerogative on that is. I feel like they'd probably buy something.
That's probably easier.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's just you kind
why
of
start from scratch? Like they're
from
already doing
scratch. It's a little hard. And your Netflix, you have to spend something. I don't know how much you're trying to fight off.
it. Guys
The
got all this money.
Machine learning algorithm. Majority people saw like father with Caucasian people. And
I'm clicking that.
and Netflix said it makes its artworks only on viewing history, not demographics. So if you're
Right. why when I see Friends, I see a black person on the Friends thing?
Oh, really?
When there's never ever been a black person on Friends ever. I'm just kidding.
Wait, seriously?
No, I'm just kidding.
oh, okay.
That would make me go like,
Well, I was gonna say maybe you watch a lot of films and TV shows with black people.
yeah, that's true. What if I didn't though? Like I
Like,
only
okay,
watch
all right,
Korean
hold on.
films.
Hold up, bro. This is you guys know something about me. Shout out Trung T fan.
Do you think they
With the thread.
edit the content based on where you are? Probably for country, but like, what about for like people?
They said viewing history, not demographic. I tend to believe they would have that information. Do you put in a location anywhere on your sign up?
I'm sure they know I live in LA.
They might not. Maybe they got some anonymous data though.
I also don't use Netflix that much.
You think they'd get into user created content? Maybe you upload your own thing, and maybe if you're an independent filmmaker, maybe they don't go all the way to the bottom, but maybe they go filmmaker in the mid tier, bottom tier.
I don't know. I don't know if they would ever venture into that territory. That gets dicey. Would it like be? Would it always have to be? You have to make like a movie or a show. Like, what if people start uploading fucking political vlogs? You know,
I'm saying people, just how they kind of have to scout for their own TV shows. People will just upload and pitch to Netflix, this is my show. They have some, either, I don't know if it's that accessible of a website, but you could be, hey, I'm a mid-tier person, I got movies on blah, blah, blah. Pitch via an Netflix hub on the internet. This is a movie I like. So instead of going to, I don't know what studios or outfits Netflix has, but you have people just uploading pitches left and right.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know if maybe ever do that.
I don't know if the volume is what they need, though. I mean, they do need less volume.
Like, yo, we just want to keep pumping out Emmy-winning shit. You know?
Have you ventured into Squid Game?
I haven't. Is it?
I like, as I do with my entertainment viewing, I watch people on YouTube that have explained it in 15 minutes.
Oh no!
Do about 2 videos of that, and then I have successfully intaken all I need for my entertainment.
You don't just want to appreciate like a piece of art for a second.
No. I want to just squash it.
What if you're just like, dude, fuck all this podcast shit. I gotta make movies.
I eventually, maybe I'll do a case study, like, oh wow, they really did something special with this set, but maybe someone else is better suited to make that opinion than me, and I'll use their opinion.
Well, I wonder, because there's a lot of good stuff on Netflix, but why in particular did this one go viral?
That's a great question. Was
this like, was someone at Netflix like, yo, we gotta meme the fuck out of this for marketing?
The first time I heard of it, when's the first time you heard of it?
Somewhere on Twitter or something. I saw like a meme or something like a week ago.
I think I might have seen a TikTok.
Because they just be dropping stuff on Netflix. They don't advertise it usually. They just say.
I think this one might have been more organic people. I don't know how much of pushing Netflix does behind things, if they want it to be popular or not. It could be a little payola here and there, but I do think that the character of the show is something that could be viral. I think a lot of people that watch the battle royale stuff in the games, and it's a cool story. I think I saw it first on TikTok. Someone was doing, it's a game and you flip over the things, and someone was doing that at the USC courtyard. Shout out USC, dude. I want to go back there. I just want to take a nice little walk down USC.
I don't.
I'm a little older now, though.
I realize there's no bars over there. When I lived over there, I was like, dude, what do all these kids do? There's like nothing to do over here.
Yeah.
But
I like to walk.
Shit, what was I gonna say?
Squid
Game.
You saw it on Twitter, or why it popped off over other ones?
I don't know what I was gonna say, but I was like, it was something about Netflix.
I've heard of it.
Fuck, never mind.
I'm not sure if Netflix pumps up shows or not, but I might be naive in thinking that this is something that was organically viral. Apparently the guy took like 10 years to get it to somewhere where he was getting some traction for it. I think
should get my friend Chris on here. He knows a lot about the Netflix getting things on their process.
Oh yeah, a little inside.
Yeah, it's quite the process. Apparently, I can imagine so, because everything on there is like, there's a floor for quality.
Okay.
On Netflix.
He's
like, no, he was saying something interesting. He was like, on Netflix and music videos, but mostly Netflix, they won't even let you on if you don't use one of these 2 cameras or something. Like, they won't even consider you. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting.
I could get that. Yeah. They want a flowered wall. What do they call it?
A walled garden.
Yeah. I like flowered wall. They want a wall of flowers, eh?
Yeah, and he said like every music video you see like uses this camera too. It was something, I forgot which one. He said he used one of these 2 cameras, so that's why they all kind of look the same.
Who owns the cameras, huh?
Yeah, it was like, he's like, yeah, Drake uses it a lot, even though like he could use an iPhone and it would still kind of be the same, but they all kind of look like movies because they have like sensors the size of fucking elephant skulls.
Yeah, woolly mammoths and all that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's cool, dude.
got a few headlines if you want to pump into that. Do you want to listen to an intro song, or do you just want to headline it up?
Let's just pump into it, yo. Fuck
Okay.
it. These people ain't got time. These people ain't got time for a commercial break.
Thank you so much. I mean, there will be commercial breaks, but there just won't be intro. But, you know, much appreciated, everybody. Halfway in-ish for listening to Ricker and Bond, as always. The VIPs, I forgot homie's name. It was on the tip of my tongue. Peter in Norway, as
Big
always,
Pete.
man. Big Peter. You know, we haven't been on Instagram as much, so there's less of a interaction with Umberto. But I saw he's giving likes here and there on the Instagram. Ricker and Bond.
Dude, he's too busy with his girlfriend, dude.
They'll be broken up in about 3 years.
Dude, Umberto, bro. Just focus
Just a
on yourself,
good-looking
bro.
young dude.
Bro,
Bearded
start
up,
a podcast,
you know.
dude. She'll leave you in no time.
I have to hit him up again because he's a gamer, and I was like, my guy, you need to hop on board. I want to do people gaming and streaming and stuff. He's like, yeah, of course, bro. Blah, blah, blah. Haven't heard of Umberto in a couple months, but you know, I gotta be. Some people, man, you has to do something. I realize if you really have to grab them on board, it's not for it, unless it's really, you know, that you just need it. But
I think the secret is there has to be something in it for them.
sure, but even if there is something in it for a lot of people might not be up and at it to do something right away. And if you're not up and at it to do right away, there are a couple things in a solid pitch by someone. I don't know.
You know, I've noticed it's kind of annoying that before I hop into this real quick.
Yeah.
People, this happens quite a bit, will be like, yo, dude, I got this great idea. I would like you to help me with it. I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. They tell me exactly what they're going to do. It's something they could do literally by themselves. No help from me. And I'm just like, why don't you do it yourself? And they're like, oh, I'll think about it.
People enjoy, and this is kind of a thing that I learned on the way. But people do enjoy it if something is very easy sometimes, and you tell them literally to your face. You can go on Google, you can do this, you can find out exactly how to do it, and you can do it. There will be probably a bigger percentage of people that will say, "Can you do this for me?" than people say, "I will do this myself." It's like it's a facet of almost outsourcing, but it's just like kind of, I don't know, maybe they don't have enough belief in themselves, or they're not into it or something.
That's probably it. I'm just like, dude.
But there's
just
a
do
lot
it
of people.
yourself.
It might be the belief thing, but it's like I need. Maybe they've grown up and they haven't shaken the thing of I need something else to either validate that I can do this, or maybe I don't think I can do it, or maybe they don't want to fail and they want someone else to have a little bit of the oh, we didn't do it, instead of like, oh man, I didn't do it.
I have this one friend with some money. He's always trying to like invest in like an idea or something.
Yeah.
And like I always have like a lot of ideas that I don't even start, but I'm always like just like running them by him. He's like, yeah, dude, like whenever you have another idea, just let me know. I'm just like, dude, I'm more likely to like help you with something if you get started first. Like if you do something that excites me, then I'll jump on board, but I'm not gonna just start something, you know, like just because there's money available, because then it's just like not gonna work, you know.
Yeah, it is also a thing of probabilistically you will fail at most things you do. So if you do one thing, and maybe that's why people don't want to start up one thing, because it's like, oh man, I gotta go to the next one, and that was emotional in the defeat, and you got to be okay with the emotional depression for a second, and then learn from that and build from there. And you know, it's a whole mental thing you got to prepare yourself for. And that's just the practice of liking projects, I suppose. Big Short investor Michael Burry dismisses Shiba Inu coin as pointless, noting the dog spin-off supply exceeds 1 quadrillion coins. So Michael Burry, the semi-autistic man with the glass eye, who is really smart and lucked into his smartness via his Asperger's syndrome, and lucked into his Asperger's syndrome being directed towards math, was looking into mortgage things, and he was saying, hey, you guys are making a big old house of cards and it's not the real value. this man who loves shorting things shorted Tesla at probably a little too late or a little too early, but saw a little top there. I think he's shorting a little ARK funds as well from Miss Kathy Wood, as is everybody else in the industry is going maliciously after anything ARK because they're mad that they didn't do Bitcoin first. Now there's literally every top investment firm is into Bitcoin.
Michael Burry's a smart guy, but it's pretty obvious that Shiba Inu is a house of cards. Like the only reason Shiba Inu is up is because guys like him are talking about it on the news so that people are like curious about it and then they buy into it and it goes up. Like,
it is interesting that I kind of forget my exact thought process, but it was something along the lines of where you can with things that Murray did and things in traditional finance, you can see if there's somewhat of a perceived value because it's somewhat value based what people are pricing these things on. And crypto, just like you kind of saw in AMC stuff, you saw it bleed over where a lot of it it's just because it's valuable. It's just because people are willing to pay. Please, I'm willing to answer.
Since you're very against Elon's what's the fucking word? Influence in the markets.
I think that there are other things besides him.
Shiba Inu was trading sideways for like 5 months maybe, right? It was kind of like stable-ish. The day Elon tweets about something kind of related to SHIB, it goes up. Like it was huge. I wasn't part of it, unfortunately, because I was like, dude, this coin is never going to do anything unless like Elon Musk talks about it in some way, shape, or form. What are the chances of that happening? So I sold it for a profit. But then he talked about it and it fucking did what I thought it would do. Mm-hmm. So like, do you believe now or?
I concede a little bit that there are probably retail waves that might go into buying things when someone talks about it that have low volume. But I still venture to believe that it's not 100% retail based. A lot of the Doge pumps were from industry people that are using their personal accounts to buy Doge.
Because it went on Coinbase like maybe 2 weeks before. It was available to millions more people and it didn't do shit. The price barely moved.
Okay. I mean, the Coinbase listings are kind of common. I don't know if that's such a big way breaking news, but
because I never ever thought she would be on Coinbase. I never thought Doge would be on Coinbase.
Well, Coinbase does now allow like basically anything onto its listings.
Yeah, so that's why.
Like, literally, because I think what it is it's half a game of just getting customers that want to be into crypto, and so that exchanges are realizing, okay, we need things that are interesting and that people will buy.
Sheep's fucking nuts.
It's doing things.
It's I would say maybe like if it tripled in a half or so, maybe in the last week. So you're not going to see those 100-time gains like you would have 5 months ago, but it'll probably be up in a year. But yeah, I don't know. It has a fucking chunky market cap right now. Just billions of dollars into this coin that literally does nothing. So I have. There's
staking. Isn't there staking?
You can stake. Yes, that's true. I have relinquished the fact. I have given up on the once strongly held belief that meme coins are bullshit because they're obviously not. If that money is bullshit, then I don't know what to tell these people.
Their value is not.
Their value is not. Is it going to crash? Maybe, yes. Probably. Yes, but just know when to get out.
Yes, sir.
Not financial advice.
Well, it crashes right about here, where it did go down. No, people can still put in value to something that is probably zero use cases, and probably when there is so much money into something, the creators are like, "Oh, let's do something then."
That's literally what it was. Like,
we gotta Sheep does have. I'm not sure when they opened their DEX, but they opened the DEX. They opened an exchange that was a Sheep swap. I forget when they did that, but it's probably when it was
July.
freaking.
When I first got into Sheep, I was heavily involved in the Reddit community, and like the developer was talking about, yo, I'm gonna launch this decentralized exchange, and a bunch, like half the people were like, nah, dude, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It's just like a fake thing to like pump the price up. And then it came out, and I was like,
wasn't Sheep like 13? Wasn't she like 13th in market cap in crypto?
I don't know. I think it was like 35th like 2 weeks ago.
I see. Well, that's your Sheep news, people. It's high.
That's your Sheep news, people. Be on the lookout for the one after this. For the next Sheep. It goes Doge, Sheep. People are gonna be like, yo, Sheep's too expensive. It's too hot right now. What's next? What's the next dog coin?
By the time you hear things, whether in traditional or crypto or I don't know, fashion, by the time you hear it out of Ja Rule's mouth, Ja Rule hasn't talked about Sheep yet, but by the time it reaches probably, I mean, we talk a lot about underground things here, but if we talk about it and it's like, oh, this is popular now, then you know you're a little late. You got to get a better entry than almost all-time high. But,
yeah, fuck.
But then you realize that you're not going to do that, and you're like, oh, maybe I try to be wise, wait for it to come down, and then it will shoot up to the top.
I'm surprised it hasn't tanked like the last pump. It's like kind of stable.
Well,
so I guess this is the floor, maybe.
It's not the floor. I don't think this is the floor. 0.00005.
I don't know. It just added like $6 billion in money.
Who's pumping money into it?
Probably like
6 billion retail.
5 wallets.
See, that's my thing though. I don't think that 6 billion is completely pumped by retail. I think that there's a majority of other probably industry people that are in it.
What responsible person though would be like, yo, let's put all of our some of our company money into Shiba Inu coin?
Well, I think people that are in industry that are using retail accounts.
You don't think it's just like really wealthy retail people, maybe like some Korean guy somewhere that's like, yo, I have $50 million in Ethereum, let me throw it into Sheep, triple it and pull out?
Maybe. Probably some. What was the oldest exchange that it was on? Was Binance the first one?
No, it was on Uniswap.
Let's see if we get some more data from Uniswap. I don't think so.
Yeah, Uniswap's chart goes back to August 2020, I think. Oh, it should. If you go on, yeah. So like right there, it was
look at
like
that volume, dude.
It was dead, and then right, go. You see to the left, right before that first pump right there. That's right before there. That's where I bought in. Right, and then I had that pump, and I was like, dude, this is crazy. And then 3 weeks later, that motherfucker happened.
Yeah,
that giant shit.
So obviously, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna want to look like that. That's your floor.
And this is the fucking kicker here. You ready for this? On my Coinbase wallet, it tells you how much it'd be worth today, like that first transaction. You ready for this? I put in $500 and $250 in April. At the high of this most recent pump, they would have both been worth $80,000 and $30,000 respectively.
Solid gain.
That's the power of these fucking meme coins right there.
Sure.
So yeah, that's fucking nuts. But I'm not even mad because like I never would have expected it to pump again. I thought that was like a one-time thing, 2 times tops.
That's kind of a good study. How many? I mean, because this was an altcoin that was pretty popular, right?
Yeah,
pretty popular.
I would say it was the most popular meme
Doge
coin that
altcoin,
wasn't Doge.
Sheep. So, I mean, it's probably an okay possibility that it's not a completely one and done.
Yeah, I think it's here to stay.
As much as Doge is, which is, I don't know.
I think it could, like, just be like a
over the years,
just little
probably
brother
follows Bitcoin because it's popular.
Yeah, and it's also like
what's
if you're
that's the volume for that. That's the volume for that. What?
Yeah, like imagine if we get that much volume again.
That's what I'm saying. If there's a big pump of volume, you'd probably break that. I'm not super. I gotta do a little more studies on volumes, and I do enjoy me some momentum.
Yeah,
but that is basically what I mean. Crypto altcoins are that don't have use cases for its value is literally community momentum plus industry whales.
In the psychology I found is people, when this stuff happens, people are like, okay, this is too hot, I'm gonna find the next coin that's kind of similar. So I had like $100 in this other one that was kind of like Sheev, and while this was pumping, it went up to like 650 and then it went back down, you know, and its market cap is really low. And I'm like, okay, if I leave this $100 in here for like a year, 2 years, like what could it be? You know,
yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, I guess the risk with the reward is there. If you're going into 20 different coins, $200, $2,000,
and most of them go to zero. The worst part is, and this has happened before, where like the trading is like the coin is dead. There's no one to accept your trade, so you have like $200 of a coin that you can't even sell. So it's just locked up, and you're just like, all right. So the risk is like crazy, but also one winner could make up for 1 trillion losers, you know?
As long as you have one winner that can make up for your losers, should be, I mean, so it's not the tightest system ever, but
it's the fucking casino, you know? You really just got to have your ear to the ground in terms of like what people are talking about on Twitter and Reddit and shit.
Sure.
Like
and I'm sure there's a lot of people have some softwares.
Oh yeah, I have like every time. I don't know. I'm sure your trending list on Twitter is different than mine. But like every time like people talk about Sheeb, when it has like more than 10,000 tweets, I'm like, all right, something's going on. And I look and it's fucking going crazy. And this week it had like 65,000 tweets about it, and I was like, all right.
You should find the precursor to that, and then you kind of have your indicator.
The precursor to all the tweets.
The level it reaches before it reaches the headline on Twitter. So if it's reaching a volume of this much tweets at this time or anything, then there's probably a probability it's gonna get more, and then that's kind of your trigger for momentum. You need a moving average.
Yeah, she's fucking crazy. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen again, but
that's also a good question.
I truly don't. Those low market caps are fucking nuts.
It could be the case that this is the only time in crypto.
I think so.
Besides some anomalies in the future, just like you had penny stocks had its day in traditional. This could be a once in a time for an asset where you could find 100x 80x returns.
It's like fucking oil.
But it is oil based on nothing but momentum.
Yeah, we're gonna look back and be like, damn, remember that time when you could just do that?
And it's not regulated yet so
it's
much.
not
besides the taxes. Everybody who does you do have to give up taxes to these things.
Definitely
not financial advice, but just be aware that the government that you're succumbed under to does take money from anything you're making on this, besides if you're doing things. But
yeah, try to be.
I'm not doing things, government.
Try to be smart. Try to be smart.
Try to be smart. And try to pay your taxes. You know, I always pay my taxes to government listening to me.
I do as well. I have a CPA.
I have a PhD.
A PhD in this bullshit.
I'm a doctor journalist.
So that's going on right under the noses of everybody in America. There's just the fucking... I call that last pump, that huge pump and dump in Sheep, the greatest wealth transfer in American history.
I don't think that's true.
Where people just got fucked. Someone just put in $5 million, and then like it was 500 grand at the end of the day.
It is. Transfers are getting a little easier, but also with crypto, it's also widening.
That's wild.
You see that NFTs? I do have an NFT headline.
NFTs are fucking.
But things like that, where it's probably a bigger barrier to entry monetarily than traditional finance. Frank Miller sells an NFT. I don't know who that is or what the NFT is. It's a comic book series, and he sold it for 6 figures. Winning bid sitting at $840,986.16 USD, paid in Gala coin.
Damn, sell that immediately.
No,
Put
man,
that into anything else, bro. Put that in the sheet real quick.
The award-winning comic book artist Frank Miller set an NFT record this week, having created a one-piece animated with sound inspired by his fan favorite Sin City. So this is a piece that has lore before the NFT. I've never heard of it. Apparently this is it. A 2005, who's that man? I forget his name. Bruce Willis movie. A Bruce Willis writer / artist sold a NFT that is inspired by an old movie that he sold for just under $200,000, under $1 million USD. He's so honored. Valued. He's a THR. I don't know who THR is. Notes that the Sin City NFT is now the most expensive piece of art ever sold by Miller, but claims his iconic The Dark Knight Returns cover is valued in the $1.3 million to $1.6 million range, though it is not currently for sale. So what I was kind of getting into before with creator owning their funding via fans is kind of the same vein as this, where if you have something that's valuable in pop culture, you can pass that value around to Uber fans of that with, tokenization of NFT and people.
So I'm trying to explain to neighbor Jeff, but he just doesn't get it. I'm just bro.
I heard neighbor Jeff in a minute. What's he at too?
He just, every once in a while, he's like, John, I just don't, I understand it, but I just don't get it. Like, what's the point? Like, well, how is it any different than taking a screenshot? How is it any different than that? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, dude, I'm just like, bro, like digital social currency matters, my friend. Like,
it is that too.
People,
that's definitely a part of it. I think it's not half it, but a part of it is just going to be, this is cool and I own this, and that is it's social currency.
Yeah,
that
dude,
can be valuable.
What's the point, dude? It's not even real. I'm like, bro, there are parties in LA that won't even let you in if you have less than 10,000 followers on Instagram. That's not real, but it kind of is,
Yeah, Supreme and all that.
Yeah, like.
But now you can track things. You can track it.
Yeah, dude.
On the internet, it's just like you can track conversions in Facebook and Google, where you couldn't do that before with billboards. Great analogy. Great. Shout out the hours of reading I do that made my mind make this synapse burst. Before you couldn't track people with billboards. Bang, you have billboards via images now that you can track. Damn. And when things are valuable in pop culture, like something like The Dark Knight is, instead of perhaps one person owning the physical version of that, hanging it on their wall, you could say you now own a piece of this digitally that is unique and nobody else can have, and that's provably unique with cryptography, which people have been using for a long time. Shout out the Romans.
If Pokemon issues a Pokemon card NFT, they can literally just be like, yo.
Does Pokemon have anything out, man?
I'm sure they're working.
See, that's also a great analogy for people who don't get it right away. It'd be like, trading cards are crazy and don't really exist, and they have no value. Baseball cards, all these things that Gary Vee loves. You have it, and you have, okay, this is the unique one.
I brought that up to Jeff, dude. He was like, dude, like, and he was like, yeah, but you know, it's different because I can take the card to like a shop and they can like identify the grade, make sure it's real, make sure all this other bullshit. And I'm like, dude, you can literally do that way easier with blockchain. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just on the computer.
And I heard this analogy from Gary Vee. He said you take a picture. People saying I could just take a picture of a picture. So you take a picture of the Mona Lisa. You don't actually own the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Bang, bang. Apparently the Mona Lisa is valuable because it was stolen.
Really?
Yeah. And that's kind of been the thing of momentum again, and like weird social valuable thing. And you can kind of tie that in with altcoins and being like, this has no value. But I mean, if there's a story behind it and there's branding.
The museum just going to give it back, though.
You said what?
Is the museum going to give it back?
Oh, no, this is worth way too much for me to give it back.
Or to just give it back to like the family or something. I don't know.
Dude, you know, remember that one family, Black's Beach, that got their thing in eminent domain from them? They got it back. It's their property now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Can I visit or?
Yeah, go over to Black's Beach, man. It's the black ancestor that now owns it. Or what's the opposite of an ancestor? Perpetual? Perpetuity? I actually looked this up, but I forgot it off top. Let me tell you what it is. It's a really good, I like the word. I used it for an album. I'll tell you in a second. But what if he was he just really hated Korean people. He said, hey, you guys can't come over here.
It could have been some of that.
Posterity is not the noun of it, but it's the not the pronoun of it, but it's the noun of it. Posterity, meaning all future generations of people, the descendants of a person. Shout out. It's really cool.
Shout out, damn, my hair's getting long.
The opposite direction of ancestor.
NFTs, yeah.
There's going to be, as of time of this recording, which is Saturday, October 9th. So I'm going to have to put you guys up on the next one, which is October, I think 14th or something. You can look up in the sky and see bright planets next to the moon. Tonight on...
What? Bright planets?
Bright planets, dude. You can see tonight, for basically just you, I'm telling you this, you could look up at the moon. If there's no clouds, I'm seeing a little bit of clouds where I'm at, and see Venus next to the moon with your naked eye.
What's that witchcraft stuff, dude?
That's what,
dude. Dude, yeah. Fuck, I want to veer off for a second, dude.
Okay, please do.
And a funny thought last night.
Yeah.
You know how one of our old roommates, he'd always just be like, dude, like, why isn't my like career going anywhere? I work so hard. I should have just been like, back then, I should have been like, dude, because you worship Satan, bro. That's why, bro. You got that's 100% why. Because you literally worship the devil.
We had an episode on the old show. And I try to convert these folks to be good Christian loving boys. And,
I can do all things through God, through Jesus that gives me strength. You know, that's why my music career is popping.
Other people, I don't know. They had an Ashid Muhammad. I don't know. That's probably the same thing. I mean, maybe that one works better because I don't know. A little more in the industry. Maybe I should go with a little Allah.
I'm just saying, Chance the Rapper, pretty famous, pretty Christian. Like Justin Bieber, very famous, very Christian.
Hey, maybe it's just a record label thing where they're trying to get that. Man, I was going deep into some history of some old religions and stuff, and I don't know. I don't really want to
Kanye West
talk about it. Kanye West had me lit. Dude, I listened to Sunday the Sunday church service thing he did with like gospel singers. Bro, I bang 2 of those songs like pretty much on the daily now, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I haven't listened to that song since it's come out.
I kind of listen to less now because I had my peak with it, but I'm on the sine wave of things. But I listen to Rain, dude.
Certified Lover Boy daily.
See, maybe a little. Hey, man, come on now. I told you about the vapidness when people say, "Oh, it's not that deep, not that deep." But it's like, oh, maybe. I mean, everything's a little that deep, man. Maybe you're just not that deep because you've been You mean train to be shallow?
I just identify with the toxic masculinity.
I mean, you put that in your brain. That's what you identify with.
I don't know. I don't think it's shallow. I think his lyrics are coming from like real experiences. I think that's the opposite of shallow. I think that's just experience.
Could still be shallow experience.
I don't know. Like what is shallow? Like, it just sounds like shallow is something you haven't experienced.
I don't think so. I think,
like, you just write about what you do. Like, if you fuck 10 women, you're probably gonna write about that. But if you don't do that, you can't like relate to it.
I think you could say that might be a shallow experience.
What is shallow, though, in your opinion?
I don't know. Maybe my thing might be, because then it also gets weird when you do talk about the man behind it, because the man behind it might have, it just might be curated to something that is kind of on level, just talking about women and I still don't listen to Drake music. What is shallow for me? I might have to get back to you on that.
See, shallow for me would be writing about something you don't experience.
We do have different definitions of shallow then.
Like Kanye West going through all this Jesus stuff, he's writing about that experience.
You're saying it's not shallow, but I will have to give you a definition of my shallow. But I do want to, because I don't think what you're thinking about is shallow, in my opinion. But what you're saying, it is genuine because they experienced it.
Shallow as in like devoid of morals?
More so.
Well, see, morality is different to everyone. See, that's relative. You know, you could go to another country where they like literally kill people and sacrifice them to the sun, and that's like cool for them.
You don't think there's a solid ground level of human existence morality at some point?
I don't know, because like our ancestors, yours and mine, were pretty fucking savage. So I think morals exist so that we can live together in harmony and not kill each other.
Okay.
You know, I don't think that really needs to be like reflected in music so much. Could just be, maybe music is literally like what people really want to do, what people really want to feel.
So the primal things.
Could be. So
the things that are, if this is the morality, kind of in a deeper end of present, and the primal morality is kind of in a shallower end of the pool of morality.
I don't know, dude. Like, so much music in the past has been like just about like sex and dirty and just like.
I think a big part of like what, and I know you have a point for this, but like the money it takes to produce a Cardi B song called Boys, right? Mm-hmm. And even with, creating jobs along with that, but the money to make a probably multi-million-dollar music video and marketing and branding, which does give people jobs, but it could be put into a different resource of putting into, some cities or something where a lot of money into the music industry, besides industry that it does make, doesn't produce a lot of value on the opposite end, besides maybe marketing Western things that they want you to be marketed towards.
Yeah, but you're also like, the product you're selling when you're selling immoral music is, for most people, escapism, you know?
You don't think that's sometimes bad?
I don't, because I don't think like, if someone's listening to a song about some guy cheating on his wife, I don't think he's gonna be like, I'm gonna go cheat on my wife. I think he's just like taking in like content, taking in media. I don't think it's any different from like a movie, that has about a bad guy.
My stance is that the content you intake does mean a lot, even if someone says it doesn't mean a lot. Because every choice you make and everything you think about will affect your brain and your life.
Yeah, but like that won't my argument is if somebody intakes like a bunch of things, like that doesn't make them a bad person. That's not going to make them want to go do things. Like someone that watches a bunch of murder documentaries probably won't go murder people. You know, if they want to murder someone, that's probably something else going on with them.
Sure. I would still say that's kind of weird to intake a bunch of murder movies.
See, but then that's just like that gets more to like kind of like, oh, that's your taste, you know?
Who curates the taste, man? I'd say a lot of these things that are like, oh, this is just my opinion, I like this thing, and I choose to like it, and I choose to like these certain things are it's not as much free will as something that you might tend to believe.
Don't you think that if quote unquote moral music were,
I mean, you still kind of have to define that too, but
music that isn't about sex or drugs or fucking, I guess what Drake or Future or Cardi B rap about, don't you think if that music were more appealing to people, it would be played more, it would make more money, it would sell out more concerts, it would be in more movies?
Then you have to ask, why is it so appealing?
It's so appealing because it's like primal. People want to fuck, people want to get money, that's survival. People want to stun on people, that's social currency. You know, it's been portrayed in, I think this was my argument before, it's been portrayed in popular music just in like different forms and fashions throughout history. What you could say today, you probably couldn't say in the 60s in a popular song. You couldn't say, I want to fuck her on a table, spread her cheeks and eat her like a boxed lunch, like you can get away with today. Back then, shaking your hips was immoral. In the 60s, I'm referring to.
But
50s,
you think
60s.
It's the same ideals where like, yeah, the same primal themes in music in the past?
I think so.
I don't know.
Because, you know, yeah, at the end of the day, like, music is art, and art is just like, just expressing like what you feel.
At some point, Drake isn't art anymore. It's now just an industry line of making a product.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that because I think Drake, one of the biggest reasons Drake is still so popular today, yes, he has his product music, his radio music, but he also, because there's a lot of songs on his albums, there's also like maybe a third of the albums are like him writing in a diary. There's a voice there. People are resonating with him, you know? That's the art I'm talking about.
Also go back to the, if people are relating with that, quote unquote, because it might be a little bit a product of itself, but with the augmented artist thing, if people will still have that relationship with things.
You know, I think I watched the movie A Star Is Born, and Bradley Cooper's character said something interesting. He was like, it doesn't matter how talented you are, it doesn't matter like how good you are at making songs. There's a lot of talented people that don't get famous because they have nothing to say. And if you have nothing to say, like, people don't care. Like, Drake has something to say. Kanye West has something to say.
What is Drake saying?
Drake is like, Drake's whole fucking voice thing now is, I'm fucking famous, I have all the money in the world, I can have whatever I want, why am I not happy?
People love stories.
That's pretty much it. The only thing that makes me happy is my son, you know? And then like you fucking listen to Drake 10 years ago and he's like, oh, I'm getting famous, I'm having fun, I'm fucking bitches, I'm getting money. It's interesting to follow the evolution of the artist.
Don't you think that that's kind of towards what I was saying? Where it's like, you've had, and this is making stories of music, but at some point, a point of it is valid. But that what he's talking about is a lifelessness in himself.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but I don't think that's bad. I don't even think that's immoral. I just think that's just his life. Sure.
Could you not say though, if you're around someone, your homie is a friend, always negative, always, lifeless, that will seep into you? I think of it the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't listen to Drake and I'm like, yo, this is a negative artist, you know?
Sure.
I don't get that tone from him. I'm kind of like, what's this guy up to? It's kind of like watching a soap opera, you know?
The content you intake leaves a dent, you know?
It leaves a dent, but I don't think as much as you say.
Try to curate your life as
because you know my favorite artist is The Weeknd, and in the past he talked about women like super like bad, explicitly calling like bitches. Like I don't do that. Almost never, you know. Like emphasis on almost, you know, like that's just not my character. And when I listen to The Weeknd, I'm just like, you know, from my perspective, it'd be really interesting to be this guy, to like live through him. Because that's what I get when I listen to his music. But also he does things that I would never do. I'm never gonna fucking do fucking Molly and coke and like fuck bitches all in the same night, you know.
But there's an aspect of it that does seep in you and trigger something in you, right? Not triggers, but it makes you perceive your life in that way or imagine it.
Yeah, but it's no different from reading a book.
That's what I'm saying. The content you intake matters.
Yeah, but it's like you're framing it like it's bad.
No, it just matters.
And yeah, of course it matters. But like it doesn't like. My argument is, yeah, it matters, but it doesn't affect people as much as I think you say it does.
Marketing.
Because if it did, I feel like there'd be a lot more bad people in society.
Do you not see that there's a kind of, like I said, over-sexualization in music, over-sexualization in society, in United States society? And maybe not. Maybe the common man and woman. Like
I have a conversation with a person and they're not fucking talking about their dick and balls and how much they fuck, you know? Like that never comes up. I only experience that in media. And they might listen to the same thing, but like we don't talk about that unless we're like homies.
I only listen to that in media.
But I'm not homies with most people.
Sure. What kind of books you reading?
Damn, I haven't read in like a week, so I'm still on the same ones. But
anything you learned this week?
Been using WordPress a lot.
Oh yeah?
WordPress is pretty powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
It actually might be the most powerful thing I've used. What hosting do you use?
Dude, in the past I used HostGator, but that was an old project. I forget the name. I'll have to hit up the homie. He's a nice website guy. But beautiful themes, man. Beautiful themes on WordPress.
I've been using SiteGround. It looks like shit, but it's like their website looks like shit, but like they got some fucking good shit in here.
For themes or?
For themes, for tools, for like you could literally just build your own little Facebook.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's fun.
Yeah, been doing that. Been what else have I been doing? Just fucking trying shit, you know, just trying to organize projects, find another remote job, perhaps. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I had this interview with a real estate company, make videos for them, but
nice.
Don't think they're gonna get back at me.
Yeah. My advice to people is always, if you're in an employee situation, always put yourself in a situation where you can siphon the most out of that company, intellectual property wise, and in a good way.
Yeah,
maybe not malicious.
Might have set my prices too high, but like, not really.
I mean, especially for that field, nah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like,
and they probably will. They probably will look for something lower, but you got a nice portfolio.
You'll get what you pay for. Like, my portfolio is not awesome, but it's like, it's good. Like, there's shit on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
you should read. I haven't read this yet, but I think I'm putting it up there. Called "Split the Difference." It's a book.
I think I have that book.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's a classic.
It,
Everybody just be reading the same books, man.
Everybody just be reading the same thing. When we're the real gold, is in those Indian books. I don't know.
I'm saying, bro, I read a lot of 1800s books, more so towards investing. But and someone brought this up, someone I admire. The clarity of people's thoughts in the past are different, mostly, than what they are now.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
I was having a discussion with someone. They're like, dude, people in the past were so dumb. I'm like, bro, they're probably smarter than us.
There's a lot in the foods, you know, a lot in the technology that is just, it might not be smarter, but it's definitely a different frame of mind.
Probably like less anxiety. Different anxiety.
Yeah.
Instead of like anxiety for no reason, they're just like, oh, sure, where am I gonna sleep tonight? Like,
yeah,
I got this infection in my foot. Am I gonna die?
Yeah. The anxiety that we have now is more so survival.
Probably more social anxiety now.
That's where it's probably gone into. It's more social world as well. Yeah, more complex systems that has integrated itself in human culture because of more connection to human culture. Probably an overload. We're probably the first brain of a generation to kind of get the brunt of that. I'm sure a couple generations down, you might have some different brain structures.
Probably some crooked necks, some tiny eyes.
Hey man, I really try to. Seriously though, like, focus on that because that passes down to your kid.
Literally, like all the time.
Oh man.
So
yeah,
fucking bad.
Tuck that chin in like that.
There has to be like a thing.
Shoulder blades back, not shoulders up. Shoulders blades in your pocket.
It's disgusting.
And your chin all the way in your throat.
Steve, what have you done to us, Steve?
I've been reading a lot about aging, man. There's a really cool conference called SALT. It's on YouTube. I think it's towards investing, but it's very tech. Kathy Wood was on there just for people that need the sensationalism. But I've been diving deep into the science of aging.
Aging is scary.
It gets, you know, man, you read books and you read pages online and you just search up something kind of cool and sciencey and you start going deep and you realize, oh, there's some whales down here in the waters.
It's like, damn, dude, you're just old. You can get sick at any moment, or it just stops working.
Very, very interesting.
The scariest thing ever when your body just turns on itself, it starts attacking itself.
It's what people are trying to fix.
And you're just like, dude, like, what are you doing? I'm on your side. Like,
probably one of the, maybe would you say that's one of the biggest problems of a human? What do you think humans' biggest problems are?
Cancer.
Okay.
Probably. Like, you can live like a totally healthy life and still get cancer.
Okay.
Probably. And like, I don't want to say most people, but a lot of people fucking die of cancer. And there's no cure for it still. I think we're going to look back, you squint your eyes, but you can't go to the doctor, take a pill, and your cancer's gone. You literally have to fucking get invasive surgery, go through intense chemotherapy, or some other experimental shit that you're literally a guinea pig for them.
Seems to me like it would be more advanced by now.
I don't know.
Aging is very interesting. I would recommend anybody who wants to get some insights on the world to look up this SALT conference. Very interesting minds talking about things.
Damn, I was doing research on Chadwick Boseman last night and his cancer. He had what was it? Not pancreatic. Colon cancer.
I tried to make a Black Panther joke, but it just turned into black pancreatic. Didn't really work.
Yeah, and he had it while he was filming Black Panther too. I was like, dude.
So Black Panther has cancer?
That sucks. And no one knew.
Yeah, shout out, dude. No one knew that Norm Macdonald had cancer either.
Did he?
He's a little more white. Yeah. It's not like I watched Norm Macdonald while he was alive, but...
He didn't tell anyone. What kind of cancer did he have?
I'm not sure.
Steve Jobs had pancreatic cancer.
Did you learn anything fun about it?
I try not to read too much about it because it scares me.
Why? Right, dude?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just like,
I see
so these are the symptoms? What? I kind of feel
Dude,
that.
I see, because it was something, I think it was maybe some science stuff about cancer. But like, even, like I said, like the content you intake, you know, kind of projection in your life sometimes. And so like, if I'm reading something about cancer, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want my brain thinking about this.
Yeah, and then I read like, when you have pancreatic cancer, you usually don't have symptoms until it's too late. I was like, whoa, what? No, I feel great. What's going on?
Oh, man. Ow. I laughed myself into a cramp.
Are you sure it's not?
Hey,
JK.
there is a wrestler who died. I think he had something with his lung. But like, he didn't have any symptoms. And then 2 weeks later, it showed up and it just progressed, and he died like a month later. I think it was some lung stuff.
It sucks when it's like so fast.
Sure.
Fuck, you're just like literally
does
running
it?
a marathon and then.
But like, it like, because my grandfather on my mother's side he like might have had some cancer or something. He did something in like some Mexican city to get his teeth done, and it might have caused something bad in his throat.
Oh,
but
God.
like he lived a long ways after that, right? So
A painful life.
yeah, it was not painful, and he didn't have cancer, but it was just, you know, as he grew in time, it just became less fun. He had like stomach stuff and stuff, and you know, like human aging things and disease things. So something fast might not be. I don't know.
Youth is priceless.
Health is priceless.
Health is priceless.
That's what I'm saying. Health is literally that phrase. Health is priceless. Wink. Jeff Bezos. Looking into aging things.
Oh yeah, how he is paying people $1 million a year to study that.
Probably more than that. But you know, a big industry where you say youth is wealth, but youth could be found out in aging, which is something about health. That's what I'm going towards.
So what's his goal here?
I don't know, but I'm going to look
forever.
I've been. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, because that doesn't sound super fun.
Yeah, like maybe like tack on like an extra 50, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
as long
even
as it's
that,
not
it's
like
just-
painful.
Yeah. But even it sounds a little. Because you still got to like, I guess if you have money, but like the world, I mean, this is why people may be looking at Mars and other things, but maybe people have already thought about, hey, we're tacking on 50 years. The earth we live on is already devoid of soil and things, and meat we're making is making the earth not very fun to live on with gases, and we're kind of going through the resources that we use as a level 0.5 society. And then you have SpaceX.
Maybe dying is fun. Maybe we're just
Maybe that's part of it.
like I imagine like when I go to the dentist and they put me under, I imagine that's what dying is. Just the best sleep I've ever had.
I don't know. I haven't been there yet.
Unless
as far as
it's
I
just
can
like
remember.
hell, eternity of holy fire. What if we're so far from the correct religion that what if it's just some fucking weird ass religion in Africa where they like worship rocks or something, and that's the right one?
South Park already had the bit. Another bit. Yeah. Have you seen that one YouTube channel that does YouTube shorts? And their titles are like kind of funny, and then they have the movie title or the short title.
No.
Once you click one of them, they show up. Might be called like something. It's a weird channel name. I want to say Burger, but it's not Burger. But it's something like that. Salon. I don't know. But they also have that bit in the short they did where a guy is dead and in the afterlife. He's just in the forest.
I love how all these
Good movies, though. Good movies. I'll get Chris on the feature for a deep in dive for a 30-minute Netflix AI dive.
Yeah, I gotta get him on here. He's an interesting guy. I love all these YouTubers are scrambling to make Squid Game content right now.
Yeah, they are.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm interested in how that came into the populace. When was the last Netflix thing that had mindshare?
After Stranger Things, I'm sure. There's something else, I'm sure. Oh, what was that chess movie? Chess show. A lot of people were on it.
Queen's Gambit?
Yeah.
Was that Netflix?
That was a thing for a little bit.
Okay.
Haven't seen that either.
I'm interested if it's quite organic or half organic or what.
Yeah, fucking... Dude, they just like slip all these YouTubers a check and be like, watch this, make something about it.
Maybe what they do is there's good organic views of it, and then they start the marketing just like they put out the album and then make the music video for the good single after.
13 types of people in Squid Game, 8.4 million views.
Just go ahead and watch 2 videos about the 15-minute spoilers. It's pretty cool.
This guy also has 5 million subscribers, so I'm sure that helped.
Just like Sheeb, you're at the top. You might squeeze a little bit out, but you're at the top.
Sheeb! Oh, Sheeb, dude. My beloved Sheeb.
Yeah.
I love Sheeb.
The crash risk is interesting for that. But like I said, maybe Sheeb was big enough where you wait a little bit and Bitcoin pumps where you're free of a crash.
Yeah, my whole thing with Sheeb was like, during the last crash, I was like, dude, I mean, it's still over $1 billion market cap, so, and it's kind of chilling here, so it's a lot of money. It probably won't go like all the way down, you know?
All of the money.
Fucking Jesus Christ. And the fucking YouTube views on this. 3 hours ago, 8,000 views. 1 hour ago, 5,000 views. 6 hours ago, 40,000 views. And by the way, people, crypto, as if I'm understanding this correctly, crypto videos have a very high CPM on YouTube, so you don't need a lot of views to make a lot of money.
Can you explain what CPM is?
CPM is cost per mil. That's what it stands for, and that's how much money you make for every 1,000 views. So how it works is advertisers pay different amounts of money based on the type of video. So because they know who's watching. So a kid watching a fucking Squid Game video probably doesn't have any money to like spend on stuff. So an advertiser is not going to pay as much to put a product in front of a 45-year-old man with a job who's watching like a video about insurance. So the CPM could probably, for like an insurance video, I've seen them go as high as like $50 per 1,000 views. And then you look at like a Jake Paul vlog and it'll have like a $5 CPM.
Right on.
Yeah. So that's basically it. So someone like Graham Stephan, I think he might be one of the biggest finance people on YouTube, making stupid money because he gets millions of views and all of his videos are about finance. So he's probably going crazy on YouTube. Probably over $100,000 a month.
Internet money.
Just from YouTube. Just from YouTube. I'm sure he sells a course too, because why not?
Got to.
Have to sell the course.
Age of course.
Just repackage your YouTube videos, which are already free. Throw them behind a paywall.
Yeah.
And then
get a little more premium, a little more tool incentivized.
Add a quiz in there and a fixed certificate. Boom, $500.
Freemium model. Give out all your things for free. Someone will buy it, and you give even more value over deliver from there. But that's a model I like.
Crazy. YouTube crazy.
But don't give away your edge, you know.
I read something that YouTube is expected to pay. I forget the figure. But this year and next year, the next couple of years, YouTube is expected to pay like a shit ton of money because all the advertising money is moving to YouTube. Like, companies are like, yeah, like why even pay for anything else when everybody's just on here? It's been around for fucking 15 years. TikTok, Vine, Vimeo, all those come and go, but YouTube's still here.
It is
still kind of around.
It is a little more art niche-y.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't talked since Instagram went down.
Oh yeah, what's up with that?
Sketchy.
Yeah.
6 hours down and some email DNS records deleted.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I already expect to not trust Mark on anything, so.
Why? I'm trying to figure out as well the real reason government doesn't like Facebook. Do you have a hypothesis?
The real reason?
Yeah. What's the reason we have now that we've been marketed?
Well, the
Privacy?
last big thing that comes to mind was the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
What was that?
Fuck, I don't want to fuck it up.
From what you remember?
Damn, it was something about like the Trump administration, and then there was like, I think they were
Before that, maybe, I think.
Fuck, I don't know. I think they were like, people were like signing up for something on Facebook, and then like Cambridge Analytica was like tracking them like across like other sites, and then all that information got like leaked to the public.
In the 2010s, personal data belonging to millions of Facebook users was collected without their consent by British consulting firm Cambridge Analytica, predominantly to be used for political advertising.
Oh, they also don't like Facebook because they're like, yo, you're too big.
Maybe they don't want user data to be given to not America.
That's a thing too.
I might be landing on that argument for now.
But also they're like, yo, like you got to break up WhatsApp and Instagram because like
They'd still be giant companies.
this guy was like, I forgot, I don't know, some senator was like, so if somebody doesn't like Facebook, the platform, where would they go? Like who's the competitor?
Yeah.
And Mark Zuckerberg was like, I don't know.
You gotta know your counterpoints off top, man. You gotta know what someone will say.
Fucking Clubhouse.
You could have said Clubhouse,
Could have
whatever.
said Twitter. I don't know.
The poppin'. I mean, that's what they did.
But Twitter's not the same, like at all. Like,
But it's where they went.
fucking. Yeah.
But I was thinking of how blockchain tech will disrupt advertising, and I was thinking of YouTube in that way, and I was thinking of, direct to consumer stuff. I kind of lost my train of thought, but just in general, you have media that's kind of centralized now, even more so than what it was when it was just 2 channels on a TV and radio, super centralized.
How will blockchain affect YouTube?
I had an idea a couple of seconds ago, but I forgot it. Well, less centralized, maybe you have...
Maybe there's an option. Let's say Mr. Beast is like, yo, if you want, you can buy this video. You can own it for like 50 ETH or whatever. And then you buy it on YouTube, and then all the ad money that the video gets, the person just gets because they own it. And then it said this video is owned by so-and-so. That's
definitely something where you might have partial ownership. But I'm thinking that these websites that everything goes on, that has a lot of data, will instead be elsewhere, either on personal sites or basically people monetizing their own data instead of other companies monetizing it, or you can leverage what you watch in your advertisers. The Brave software kind of does that, okay,
but
because it, yeah.
Where are all these videos going to be stored?
Different people have other sites. Maybe you still have a central site. Maybe it is just YouTube.
Like
maybe,
what server? Like, cause like no person, no man, woman, or child has server money like YouTube. That's like a huge thing.
Space to hold data. That's the leverage, isn't it?
That's the thing, dude. That's the
leverage. So
unless data becomes so small and we're kind of getting there, but still.
Yeah. I think that might be a tech revolution as the next big one happens in microchips and other things.
Yeah.
And you kind of had a solution for that. Did you ever come across, I forget the name. It's adjacent to like a plant, and it used other people's computer space to store things. And it was a crypto token, and it was really big, and it was like 300 and you could mine it, and it was kind of like a plant. But whatever it was, it allowed you to basically rent out your computer space or a computer space to other people digitally, and it was a proof of space, they called it.
Proof of space.
Yes, sir.
Damn, that's a new one.
It was a cool thing. It's a cool name. Chia. You ever heard of Chia?
I've never heard of Chia.
It was kind of like the token that people could mine that isn't Bitcoin, but I'm pretty sure it took a big old dump recently, and it's also not on many exchanges, which is interesting. It went from 300 it only has 3 months worth of data. On TradingView, it went from 300 to 169.
Damn.
Proof of space is a type of consensus algorithm achieved by demonstrating one's legitimate interest in a service by allocating a non-trivial amount of memory or disk space to solve a challenge presented by the service provider. The concept was formulated in 2013 by Dzimbioski et al. And by Attanese et al. So, Chia.
Chia. I saw this coin thing. I guess it was a coin. I guess the tech is called NFT. And if I understand correctly, it's an NFT that locks or something. And you can like put a will in there. And then like you set a date and it unlocks. One thing I've been thinking about is and blockchain and ancestry record keeping, or just like note keeping and stuff. It's a really good idea. If I don't do it, then I didn't do it fast enough. But here we go. You have mementos of ancestors and people and photos and stuff where you keep it on the blockchain, and you can see your family timeline through things like that. Damn.
Yeah.
And then you just know she is my mother.